Okay, so what is to be done if a trust is created for any particular liability? Will we show liability and assets both in the balance sheet? What will we do? Fair value of assets will subtract from the liabilities and remaining amount of liability will only be recognized in the balance sheet. Is everyone clear with this? Someone repeat it. Fair value of from and remaining amount of liability will appear in the balance sheet. So write down where an enterprise is separate trust, where an enterprise has created a separate trust to administer a defined benefit plan, to administer a defined benefit plan, comma, fair value of trust assets in bracket net of liabilities, bracket close, out of which the obligations are to be settled directly. The obligations are to be settled directly so here assets means investments. Okay, represent assets as investments. Whatever investments are made to settle the liabilities would be deducted from present value of defined benefit obligation and net amount would be recognized in balance sheet. Any confusions in this? So underline fair value of assets, underline would be deducted from present value of defined benefit obligation. Is everyone clear with this? For Suraj you are reading it. Okay, I'll read it again. Whether an entitlement to earned leave. What do you mean by entitlement to earned leave? Accumulated leave salary. Earned leave means you did not take the leave and you have earned that amount. So, earned leave and write down leave salary. And accumulated means whatever leave you have not utilized, that will be accumulated and you are required to get the cash for the same. Whether an entitlement to earned leave means leave salary accumulated, which can be carried forward to future periods. Means as per the rules and policies of the company, it does not expire. If any leave is not taken, then that will get carried forward to future periods. Now, should it be a short-term employee benefit or long-term employee benefit? To classify it into short-term and long-term, we will have to see overall pattern of the employees in the company. How many of them withdraw it or take the leave in the next 12 months? And how many of them accumulate it and take it in a long period of time when they leave the organization or when the need arises or when they retire? We cannot do it from individual to individual basis. If there are 200 employees in the company, we will not do it separately for 200 employees, employee 1 to 200. We will see overall majority general pattern. If we find that majority of employees take the leave in the next 12 months or encash the leave in the next 12 months, we will take it as short-term employee benefit. And if we find the general pattern, majority of employees don't utilize the leave in the next 12 months, they accumulate it and take it when they leave the organization or retire, then we'll classify it as a long-term employee benefit. So how would you classify it as a short term or long term? Not individual basis, but overall pattern of the employees in the organization. Did everyone understand this? So now, where employees are entitled to earn leave which can be carried forward to the future periods would be, in inverted commas, short-term benefit inverted commas close if the employee utilizes the benefit during immediate 12 months after the end of the period, he is entitled for the benefits. Okay, when would we take it as short term? If the employees in general utilize it in the next 12 months once they are entitled for the benefits. Next paragraph. The pattern of actual utilization by employees determine the status of benefits. Okay, the pattern of actual utilization by employees determine the status of benefits. That is short term or long term. Again, when we say actual utilization by the employees, we see it on general pattern basis. So full stop. The categorization of short-term and long-term benefits should be done on the basis of overall pattern of all the employees and not on individual basis. Understood this, everyone? Now, examination questions will mark them. They are similar to which ones? First, all of them will mark it. Then in the homework, what you will be required to do is, first you resolve the classwork. Then you do that homework. Then only you will be able to write the language. Otherwise you won't be able to do. So first we do the markings of all the exam questions. They are similar to which ones? Like question 15A, look at it. A profit sharing plan requires an enterprise to pay a specified proportion of its net profit for the year to employees who serve throughout the year. If no employee leaves during the year, the total profit sharing payments for the year will be 5% of net profit. The company estimates that some of the staff members may leave during the year and thus profit sharing payments will reduce to 3%. If the net profit of the enterprise is 50 crores, calculate the amount to be recognized as liability and expense. Question 5. Okay, mark it as similar to question 5. Can you see that question 5 previous pages, it is similar to that. So whenever you do this in the homework, if you are doing it in the class, it's fine. Otherwise, if you do it in the homework, then first you will resolve question 5, then you solve this question in the homework. Okay? 15B is already done. 16A is already done. 16C. Question 16C. A lump sum benefit equal to 1% of final salary of service for year of service is payable on termination of service. So you can assume it like a gratuity. The salary in the year 1 is 10,000 and is assumed to increase 7% compounded each year. The discount rate used is 10% per annum and discount figures you get from PFI's pamphlet. In present value tables, you will have it in PFI's pamphlet. Show how the obligation builds up for an employee if he is expected to leave at the end of year 5 and present value interest factors. Okay, no need to use the tables. This is how they do it in exams. You can see in bracket the present value interest factors are directly given. Did you understand this? So this one is similar to question number 6. Okay. Entire workings were done in the class. Past obligation, then interest, then total obligation. So that way you will be doing it. But it is necessary that first you solve question 6, then you resolve question 16C. In fact, both are same only. So you can see in exam same question was asked. Means you just solve question 6 again. Repeat that again in the home. Okay, so no need to solve 16C again. ABC Limited has 1,000 employees. Each employee is entitled to 10 days casual leave each year. Unused casual leave lapses at the end of fiscal year. Suggest the accounting treatment of the same. Question 3. In fact, it is repetition again. Okay, 16D is similar to question 3. Then 17A is done. 17C. Just now we did. 17C. Question number 10. It is asked whether an entitlement to earn leave which can be carried forward is short term or long term. So just now we solved it today only. That if he takes during the next 12 months, then it is short term, and otherwise it is long term, and that will depend on the overall pattern of the employees on individual basis. That was 10 or 11? 11. The 10 was trust. So similar to question 11, okay? Then 18A is already done. Now 18B. A lump sum benefit equal to 25% of final salary for each completed year of service is payable if employee retires after completing minimum 5 years of service in an enterprise. The salary in year 1 is 149021 and is assumed to increase at 10% compound each year. The discount rate used is 8%. You are required to calculate the present value of defined benefit obligation, current service cost, interest cost, who is expected to leave at the end of year 5. This is again similar to this question number 6. This should be done. There is a different one. So question 18A is again similar to question 6. And that should be done in the homework. Okay? Next. Question 18C, same as question 11. Okay, 17C and 18C both are similar to 11. Same answer. Then 19A is already done. Then 19C. Similar to 10. 19C is similar to question number 10 which we have done today. So, in your homework, what all will you be doing is, first of all, 15A is similar to 5. That we do it right now only. Then 16C was not to be done, it's a repetition. Okay? So 16D, which is similar to question 3, will be your homework. Means first you will solve question 3, then you will solve question 16D. Okay? 17C and 18C are similar to 11, but that is theoretical answer only, so no need to do that. This will be your homework, which is similar to question 6. Means first you will solve question 6, then solve 18A. This is also theoretical only, so no need to do it. Okay? Is everyone clear with this? This question 5 and 15A. Okay, I give you 5 minutes. Read question 5, its solution, and answer question 15A. Then I discuss its answer with you. First, read question 5 and see its solution. Then you answer for question number 15A. So do it now. First, read the question. Question is lengthy, answer is short. Syllabus of your mid-semester is over in both the subjects, PFI as well as FR. Now next week what we will be doing is marking of MCQs and one-liners. So that what is asked in the exams is given at the end of the book, that we'll discuss. Plus from theory I'll make you underline which can come in MCQ. Those points we'll take up in the next week. 3 days PFI, 3 days FR. All the 3 days we'll do it that way. And next to next week we'll start with the next semesters, in the next term's syllabus, final exam syllabus. Because after your first mid-semester exams, there will be very less time for the final exams. So Unit 3 of FR and Unit 3 of PFI will start after. Who all have taken 50 crores, not 50 lakhs? Who all have taken 50 crores into 5%, raise your hand. All have taken 50 crores into 3%. You will say that the liability will be recognized and the expense will be recognized at 50 crores into 3% because some employees are expected to leave. Is everyone clear with this? So, what all is your homework for tomorrow? Majority of you have not done question 9. You have to repeat that. Okay, question 3 and 16D. 3 is small. Very small. That is only going to take few minutes. And question 6 and 18A. This is a major one. So mainly is question 9, 6 and 18A. These are important ones to be revised. Okay, I repeat it again. For homework for tomorrow it is question 3, 16D, 6 and 18A. You'll solve all this 4 plus question 9 unit 3. And then day after tomorrow's homework also mark it today itself. Day after tomorrow's homework also mark it today itself. Question number 7. Because there is no similar question asked in exams for 10 years how to find actual gain and losses. So you'll repeat question number 7 in the homework for day after tomorrow. Is everyone clear with that? So that'll be all for today. Okay. Tomorrow we'll take up the theory of employees benefit first. Day after tomorrow also theory. Next week we'll finish with MCQs.